there are the fruits of our labor, the spoils of us hunting down the greatest pieces of tree branching. What's up, snake fans? Dave Palumbo here for Muscle Serpents Daily, and as you can see, it's getting dark. It was a long day today. We did a lot in the snake room. Unfortunately, I didn't film everything, but I did film us going looking for branches and setting up the enclosures with the branches. My friend Chase came over and built me a box for my thermostat, so you're gonna get to see that. I filmed a few boas that have started breeding. I'm slowly but surely pairing the boas. Ball pythons, I have some that I'm pairing, but I haven't really gotten around to them. But the boas, every day I've been pairing like another 2 or so. And because I got to think about what I want to pair and what I want to put together. So you can't just kind of throw them all together, because then what happens, you make a mistake, and then what happens is a male breeds a female that you didn't want, and then you get babies that you really weren't expecting. So not doing that. Doing it slow, taking my time. We're not even into November yet, so there's no rush. It's still really warm here in Florida, so I'm not really worried about it too much. But think about what you want to breed. That's the key. You know, what do you really want to make? Do you want to make something that everyone already has made, or do you want to make something that no one has made and make some crazy hets or something like that, a double het, triple hets, quad hets? That's what you have to ask yourself. All right, let's go see what took place this past 12 hours of this day, and tomorrow will be another good day, which we'll be putting our olive pythons into the actual enclosure. So we didn't get to do that today, but we got everything set up and ready to go for tomorrow. All right, guys, I wanted to show you, I didn't show you the unboxing of it, but I promise you I unboxed them. These are Sanzinia that I got from Tom Crutchfield. These are boas that I've been waiting to get for quite a while from Tom. He basically told me about them, showed me pictures, got me all excited about them. These are known as the Nosy Comba ground boa. They're from Madagascar. A lot of people think that they're the same as the Madagascar tree boas, but they're not. These are ground boas. They're known as Sanzinia volotini, and they're red. They're really red, whereas the tree boas are more green. The Sanzinia that you can see that are green, those are tree boas, but they're different species. And they're gorgeous, and they're born really big. See how big these babies are? These babies are eating mice already. This one's in shed. That's the male, and that's our female. And we got them set up in this little small tubs. Just make sure we keep the humidity good, and we'll probably put some sphagnum in here as well in the high boxes. And then when they get a little bigger, we're going to set them up in some sort of a vision cage where we can give them some ability to climb around and be cool and just like kind of show off, you know, so to speak, because these are definitely species that you want to, you know, you want to view. You want to actually enjoy them and see them in all their splendor, so to speak. But you see that blue eye, that thing's deep in shed. So we'll keep an eye on these Sanzinia, and we'll keep you updated on them as they grow. And maybe when Pablo feeds them tomorrow, we'll do a little video on that. As Tom said, they're ready to eat. They love to eat, these guys. So we'll get them fed. I'm actually, Tom really is a big believer in birds for these guys. And you know, he even believes in feeding birds to his green tree pythons. You know, he said that, Dave, that's the best thing he can do. He's a big quail person, like feed him quail. So I'm going to be ordering some frozen quail and trying quail on some of my, you know, maybe hard eaters, or the you know, the stuff that doesn't like to eat that readily. I might even try to quail Pablo with the carpet pythons that are trouble feeders. I mean, sometimes we have to assist feed these things for over a year. We can start them at least on birds, because I think with the carpet pythons, it's just getting them eating. Once they eat, they'll eat anything. But sometimes it's just getting them eating, and a lot of people are afraid to use birds because then they think they're never going to eat rodents, but that's not the truth. That's not the truth. A lot of times you just got to get their appetite stimulated. So thank you, Tom Crutchfield. I love them. All right, guys, we are outside here with the olive python enclosures. Pablo just cut down this branch. You can see all the sawdust we finally got the blade for the saw. That's important. You can have a saw, but if you don't have a blade, you're not cutting anything. So we learned that. So we cut this down. This branch is pretty cool, and it looks nice, this enclosure. And if you see the enclosure next to it, we have a bunch of branches in there as well. But we want more. Since we have hurricane trees down everywhere here, we're going to take our saw and we're going to go looking for more branches to put in not only this enclosure, the one over there, some of the ones inside, because I put a couple in my 4-footers. I showed you the one with the bolins. They love it. They love to climb. So let's take advantage. Let's go hunting for tree branches. All right, Pablo and I are wading through all the down trees here on my property. This is my open lot. And I believe this is eucalyptus wood. We've cut 2 great pieces here with a lot of character to them. Look at these pieces with the twist. Look at this twist. I mean, this stuff you can't make up. You can't just find this anywhere. This is like weirdly twisted branches. So we're gonna try to make this fit in some of the enclosures. Pablo has another piece over there as well from the same tree with some twists on it. He's just cutting it. This dried out really quickly too, probably because it's so hot here. This is like been baked. People say, oh, bake this stuff in an oven. This stuff has been baked outside here in the hot Florida, sun for over 2 weeks now. So I think it's pretty good. So we're gonna cut all these limbs and we're gonna bring them back, and this way we'll have extra stuff. I'd rather have extra stuff, Pablo, because you know what? You never know what we're gonna put it in. Yeah. Future enclosures. All right, Pablo made another really good one with a lot of freaky twists and turns on this thing. I love that branch that's twisted. Look at that tree over there that's bent. It looks like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. If we can get that, when that thing falls, I'm gonna grab some branches on that top one too. That's a nice one. Wow. There are the fruits of our labor, the spoils of us hunting down the greatest pieces of tree branching. Pablo cut these up into good, nice sized pieces. Some of these will go for some of these outdoor enclosures here. Some will go inside for our indoor enclosures. Some will go for our 4-foot and 6-foot cages. For the snakes that like to climb around and stuff like that. I'm not gonna put it with a Burmese python because the cages are not big enough. If I had my berm in a big walk-in, type of situation where I could put a tree in there, a different story. But these will be good for, like the crisscross outside here for the olive pythons to climb on. The breadly python in the other cage. The indoor cage, whatever, maybe we'll put a bolins. I don't know if we're gonna put the bolins in there or the diamond pythons maybe, or I might even put some boas into that a big indoor enclosure I have. I put 2 white super fires in there. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But we're going to take one more look at over there at my neighbor's property, where we got some stuff the other day. She's got an oak tree that's all cut up, and if we don't get anything else from there, then we'll just stick with this. But I think the more the better at this point. And the longer they lay in the sun here, the more they're going to get baked out. Although these things are really dried out already. Look at that piece Pablo found. That's a nice piece, Bob. That's a good outdoor piece for sure. Yeah, I like the branching off on it. It's heavy duty. If the screen mesh on the bottom can hold it, I think it's perfect. And then we got these pieces here. These are really nice. Some of these are going to be cut down to the 4-foot cages. Then we have another eucalyptus tree that's down here. So we're going to cut those pieces up. Let's take a look at that. All those twisty little branches that are really smooth. Those are going to be great. We got some good pieces here. Excellent hunting job we did. I've been scouting this out for a couple of days now. We just needed the saw. So now we got it, and we are in business now here. You see that pile, guys? If anyone wants wood for sale, pickup only. Boa breeding season has started. We got some more boas breeding here. This is my beautiful big girl. She's a Sunglow Motley Aztec, being bred by my blue line Sunglow. I'm going to leave them alone because they're getting disturbed. I don't want them to stop breeding. All right, here's my snow carpet python. I'm trying to feed it. I'm doing some chick feeding today. I'm going to start feeding some more birds to my reptiles. Tom Crutchfield is the one who suggested that. He's big on quail. This is a chick, a chicken chick. And we'll see if this one wants it. She's so used to rodents, she probably won't eat it. I think Pablo fed her earlier in the week, so maybe she's not hungry. You don't want to eat? Nope. All right. Here's my Inca Onyx, double het Honduran T positive and Nicaraguan T positive. Let's see if this boa wants a baby chick. They've never eaten anything but rodents. Well, I guess she doesn't care. She'll eat it. She took it. The question is, will she swallow it? We'll have to come back and look. Oh, she dropped it. Well, she likes it. Sometimes you gotta get them to wrap. Otherwise, if they don't wrap it, a lot of times they won't eat it. All right, Pablo did an awesome job setting up this little indoor enclosure. This is 6 foot high, 4 foot wide, 4 foot deep, I think, or it looks like it's 5 foot deep actually. And if you notice, what he did was he took those branches we got from outside and he zip tied them together. So they're zip tied here. We still have to put the Repta chip on the ground so you won't see the bottom piece. And these are pretty, this is solid. You know, that piece isn't solid. These pieces are solid. And he'll probably screw some of these together as well. And then we're gonna put some greens on here, some green like foliage, maybe some fake green foliage, or maybe we'll put a real plant in here, I don't know. And then the question is, what do we put in here? I'm really thinking about putting some boas in here. Like maybe I have a pair of sub-adult super fire diamonds that I really love. And I could care less if they ever breed, but maybe I'll just put them in here and let them live together in here. And give them the ability to climb. We're gonna have to figure out a way to really secure that so that thing doesn't move too much. But this looks great. You know, think about it with some green stuff on it. It doesn't even need the green stuff, just that you want to give them the ability to climb. The boas will climb, give them the opportunity. This is pretty tight. This is pretty solid. I think they'll be able to handle this. And it was smart of him to zip tie those up there. I just want to hide the zip tie so we don't see them now. Once again, once we put some Repta chip in here and make it look a little more friendly or naturalistic, I think we'll be great. All right, we're just cleaning out the super fire diamond cage. Just put all the paper down. And there's the male. We have her in with the male. She's one of my biggest boas. She really got big. She's, you know, she's 7 years old. I've yet to give me a live birth litter. Got a bunch of slugs from her twice. So hopefully this year the male will get the job done. She's one of my favorite snakes I have in my collection. She's just gorgeous. Pure, like, she's got black speckling on her, but her white is so white, it just doesn't get yellow, that it's just it's gorgeous. And she's got a lot of girth to her. I think I'll put her in this big cage over here. She's so big, she would need bigger logs in there for sure, bigger branches. She would crush those branches. She's so big. She'd snap them like twigs. All right, let me leave her alone. My friend Chase is back. We're installing the final touches on this awesome enclosure. He built me a little box to put the thermostat in. How cool is this thing? It looks like an enclosure of its own. So we're gonna put the thermostat in there so the weather won't bother it. We even have a little top piece here to protect the top so no water's gonna leak through the wood. And the cords will go inside there. Where are those cords going through?
And go right under here, and we can always make that bigger too. So.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. And then that'll plug into the thermostat, and then the thermostat's cord will come out here, and we'll plug into this outlet I had installed right there. Perfect. Okay, now these panels, as you can see, come down in the back here. This is the height box, and here's our heat tape. And we just taped our probes onto our heat tape on both sides for both cages. They are going to each have independent zones for each cage. And now we're going to put these back up. And what we're going to do is we got to put a screw in there. It's going to hold it in there. And then we're going to,
this for a second.
I got this. And then what's going to happen is our thermostat's in that box. We're going to run the probes into the box, into the thermostat, set the thermostat. And this way, right now it's really warm out, so these things aren't going to be going on anytime soon. But when it gets cold, if it gets too cold, it will kick on, and we'll give them a spot if they want to warm up a little bit out here. I'm sure I'll get blamed for my electricity bill going up from my wife, but that's what you got to do. There you go. One little screw, that's all you got to take off. Yep. The question of the day is, however, what female should, or what male should we pair this beautiful Hypo-Honduran T positive blood up with? I don't know. I'm trying to think. We want to obviously produce more Hypo-Honduran T positive bloods. But I want something really cool. Should we go back to her father? Probably not, because he's busy with someone else. I don't know. She was supposed to go last year. She didn't go for me. This is going to be the year hopefully she'll go. She's an 18. She's definitely old enough. She's one of the most beautiful boas I have. I don't know. You know what? I always say this, but I just don't have enough really good males, and that's really the honest truth of the whole thing. So I'm gonna have to think about this hard and long. Do I want to get Onyx back into this? She doesn't have Onyx in her, but she's from parents that were both Onyx. We just didn't hit Onyx. We hit everything else. We just didn't hit Onyx. I could just go with something blood, Honduran T positive here, but we need babies from this beautiful girl. If you have any ideas, put them in the comments below. Final story of the day. This beautiful IMG Labby. This is a labyrinth gene. I believe it's Hypo 2, and it's got the IMG gene, increasing melanistic gene. You can see the beautiful outlining around this girl. And I showed you her before, which is not the reason I'm showing you right now. I thought this girl had like some kind of a tumor in her. She had a big bulge in her right here. I couldn't figure out what it was. And I'm like, what the heck? This snake didn't have this ever before. And you know, if it was a tumor, because snakes can get tumors, it wouldn't have developed so quickly. How did I miss it? I said, maybe she's constipated. I don't know. But she was peeing okay, no problem. And I was really upset because she's, I mean, gorgeous, this snake, you know, and this is one of my favorite new snakes. Out of nowhere, I wish I would have taken a picture of it. I'm cleaning this tub the other day, and I saw what I thought was a regurged like mouse, but it didn't smell at all. And it was all bunched up like that. And what I realized was she must have swallowed a paper towel with one of the mice that we fed her. Because sometimes, you know, when we feed the frozen thawed, they're wet. And, you know, if she, you know, dropped it on a paper towel and somehow the wetness, you know, got on the paper towel, and it must have somehow got stuck to the mouse. And when she swallowed it, she swallowed the mouse and the paper towel. Thank God she didn't die and she passed it. I don't know how she passed it, because you know those paper towels are very absorbent. They can certainly, you know, suck all the moisture out of her intestinal tract and cause some serious, you know, clogging of that. But somehow, some way, she passed it and she's doing great. And so I've never had a problem with a paper towel in the past. I'm going to keep my eye open now, because obviously that is a potential problem. And I just wanted to give you guys this story in case it might help you one day. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today here at Palumbo's Pythons and Boas. And it's getting darker and darker by the minute. I got to go inside, eat a little dinner, start editing this video so you guys have it for tomorrow. And, you know, part of keeping snakes is the fun aspect of it. And the fun aspect, I always say, is setting up enclosures, setting up your snakes in a naturalistic, you know, environment where you can actually watch them do what they are supposed to do. And I can't wait to see. I've always felt kind of guilty that the olive pythons weren't able to climb, because they really do like to climb a lot. And I've seen them, because when they escape, every once in a while when they escape, they climb all over the room. They're always at the top somewhere. So this is going to give them a chance to do what they do in nature. They're going to get exposed to the elements, the humidity, the dryness of the winter here, the cold. It doesn't get freezing here, but it gets cold enough. And I think that's going to hopefully help kick them into breeding behavior. And, you know, that's going to be cool. Now, do I want all my snakes in outdoor enclosures? No. No. Too much work, you know, just unwieldy. But it's nice to have some of your collection in a display type of cage or enclosure where you can kind of enjoy seeing them in their natural habitat and how they respond. I wish I could put my berms outside, but you know, I can't. I'm not allowed by law. You know, Florida law. I have to have them in locked cages inside a room, double doors. You know, there's all these laws here. So, and I'm lucky to even be able to have my Burmese pythons and my anaconda, because they're illegal here in Florida. I have a special education display permit. So, you know, we got to play by the rules. So the olive pythons are the next best thing. They're big snakes. They like to climb. It should be really cool. So tomorrow, you're gonna get to see the olive pythons outdoors. All right, guys, if you like what you see, and make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, hit that like button. I'll see you back tomorrow morning.